Hello students, welcome again. Students, in today's lecture, we want to discuss the appropriateness of the title The Merchant of Venice, written by William Shakespeare. So, now let's begin. See, some critics of William Shakespeare, they argue that Shakespeare was not so much serious about giving titles to his plays. Why? Because Shakespeare himself has written this line in one of his plays Hamlet, that what's there in a name, naam mein kya rakha hai. Okay, Shakespeare, you can say, you can argue that he believed that the rose by any other name smells as sweet. अगर रोज़ का नाम लिली भी कर दिया जाए तो रोज़ की स्मेल तो वही रहती है. So title does not make much difference. Okay, that's why Shakespeare was not so much concerned, he was not so much serious about giving the title. Say for example, you can even argue that Shakespeare in most of his tragedies has given the titles as the protagonist's name. Okay, say for example Othello, Hamlet, Macbeth, King Lear, all these great tragedies are written by Shakespeare and the titles are taken from the names of their protagonists. Okay, so that's why Shakespeare is not so much serious about giving the title. Even you can argue that in some of his plays Shakespeare has given some very fanciful titles, right? Say for example the play, the comedy As You Like It. Now As You Like It मतलब आपको जो भी अच्छा लगे वही आप टाइटल समझ लीजिए. शेक्सपियर ने यही टाइटल अपनी कॉमेडी एज यू लाइक इट के लिए रखा था. सो दैट्स व्हाई यू कैन से दैट शेक्सपियर इज नॉट सो मच सीरियस. But what about the play The Merchant of Venice? Is it a good title? Is it an appropriate title? The answer is not easy. Why? Because if it is a good title, then the question comes, who is the Merchant of Venice? Whether it is Antonio or it is Shylock. So that is actually a debatable question. Why? If you think about those times when the play was first officially registered in 1594 as The Merchant of Venice, it was clear from the play that the Merchant of Venice is Antonio and not Shylock, though both are merchants. See, Shylock is living in Venice and he is a merchant, and Antonio is also living in Venice and he is also the merchant, right? But do you know about this full title which was given first of all in the initial stage by William Shakespeare? You see the title in red color, The Most Excellent History of the Merchant of Venice, with extreme cruelty of Shylock the Jew towards the said merchant in cutting just pound of flesh. This was the original long title. Okay, this long title is not actually good, and that's the reason why later on William Shakespeare changed it to a short title, The Merchant of Venice. So if you read this title, in this title Shakespeare is talking about two characters, the Jew Shylock and Antonio, and here the Merchant of Venice, these words are used for Antonio, not Shylock. That is what we understand from the original title. Okay, a good title should be short and should be significant, right? The Merchant of Venice has this quality. It is a short title and it is significant. Why? It is meaningful. Why? Because the Merchant of Venice, Antonio, is an important character in this play. Okay, sometimes it is argued that the title is not good because Antonio, who is the Merchant of Venice, is not the hero of this play. But then you can argue, you can put a counter argument by saying that though Antonio is not the hero, then Bassanio is also not the hero, Shylock is also not the hero. Actually there is no hero in this play. But then if you compare Shylock, Bassanio and Antonio, then you can say Antonio is the hero of the play. Why? Because Shylock is not. Why? Because Shylock is an antagonist, Shylock is a villain, right? And Bassanio is not the hero. But why? Because he does not play an important, so much important role in comparison to Antonio. Regarding the major character, the main character, the protagonist, then you can say Portia. Portia is the main character of this play. So you can argue that the title should be given by the name of Portia, or you can say the title the Lady of Belmont. Okay, then that should have been a better title. Okay, so Shylock is more important character than Antonio. If you say, then you can give the title the Jew of Venice, but you should not give the title by the name of a villain, by the name of an antagonist. So that's not a good title at all. Antonio is a character in this play around whom all actions are taking place. He is the pivot around whom all actions are revolving, and that's why you can say that Antonio is the merchant. The trial scene of the play, which takes place at the end of the play, the casket story, the bond story in which Antonio signs a contract with Shylock in the beginning of the play, or the ring episode, everywhere Antonio is at the center. So that's why you can say that Antonio is the most important character of this play, and the title The Merchant of Venice is suggestive, is a significant title. It is indeed an appropriate title. This is how you can argue in order to prove your point. So I hope now you understand the whole idea. If you still have any doubts or questions, do write to me in the comment section of the channel. Thank you for watching. Thank you.